The Laurentian Wetland Rebuild Project is located at the northeast end of the Lake Laurentian Conservation Area along the Moonlight Beach Trail. This conservation area is part of the Ramsey Lake watershed and boasts over 60 kilometers of publicly accessible nature trails and is visited by thousands of people each year.
This area is very unique and different than other parts of Ontario in that we have a lot of exposed bedrock with very little soils to help soak up water during rain events. So that means that even though we have a lot of wetlands on the landscape, the wetlands that we do have are even that much more important in flood and erosion mitigation because we don't have the buffering on land, right? We don't have the soil to hold the water, so we really rely on the wetlands to do that job for us.
Historically, before the implementation of the original wetland project, this area was intermittently flooded by beavers. Interest in the wetland rehabilitation for this location came as a response to beaver abandonment in 1992. Ducks Unlimited Canada partnered with Conservation Sudbury to construct a dam to hold back water, creating this year-round 16-hectare wetland for waterfowl and other wildlife and people to enjoy.
If the dam weren't here, the wetland that we see over here would more or less be a creek. But by building a dam at the outlet point and at that narrow point between the rocks, we can impound water and create a large flooded area. By conducting some maintenance and some rehabilitation now, we can maintain the wetland as it is, we can maintain the ecological values that we see upstream, rather than having the dam fail at some point in the future and losing the whole thing.
Open water marshes like this one provide a habitat for a variety of different species. Not only does it provide habitat for aquatic birds, but also turtles. We have 3 species of turtles in the Sudbury area. These open water marshes also provide fish habitat and habitat for snakes. So they're really important for increasing the biodiversity in the local area.
One of the advantages of having this as a natural landform instead of a classical dam is there's less maintenance involved.
Conservation Sudbury and Ducks Unlimited have been working for several months to see this project happen. And through the process, we've had a great working relationship and we've been able to communicate and review different design options together. I think ultimately the design that was chosen has such little impact on the existing wetland.
We continue to reinvest in our existing wetland projects in order to ensure that these important wetland habitat features remain on the landscape and that they continue to provide all the ecological benefits for wildlife and for people for many years to come.
We built it 30 years ago and we're back here, 30 years later doing some rehab work. Ducks Unlimited works across Ontario, and wherever we work with local contractors to complete this kind of work.
In the Lake Laurentian Conservation Area, we have over 60 kilometers of recreational trails. Those are used for hiking, for mountain biking, for snowshoeing, for cross-country skiing. And the trails are used a lot by the local community. In fact, the trail that runs through the Ducks Unlimited pond here sees about 20,000 visitors annually. It's enormous how much the community uses these trails. It's crazy to think that we are really just 10 minutes from downtown Sudbury, and yet we feel like we're in the middle of nowhere.
Places like the Lake Laurentian Conservation Area in Sudbury provide invaluable opportunities for environmental education, conservation, and recreation. Ducks Unlimited Canada has long been inspired by Ontario's diverse landscape and beautiful waters. These areas help individuals of all ages appreciate the natural world while supporting efforts to preserve and protect it for future generations.